Good morning. Good morning, River Road. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Welcome to the River Road Unitarian Universalist Congregation. My name is Adrienne Graham, and I am pleased to serve as your Director of Congregational Life and as your worship associate for today's service. If this is your first time here in person, welcome. We hope you'll stay afterwards for a time of fellowship so we can get to know you and be connected. For those watching live on YouTube, please feel free to join in the chat with our online host. If you're watching this at a later date and have questions, please visit our website to learn how to connect with us. Few announcements for today. Following the service in the fireside room upstairs, there will be a gathering to introduce the usher, greeter, and other congregational life teams that are new or returning. So if you are a member of one of those teams or interested in joining and finding a way to give back to the congregation in service, please join me and Natalie Shaw there after the service. You can go grab some coffee and then join us upstairs. Additionally, all RUUCers who are Black, Indigenous, and people of color are invited to join DRUM, that's the Diverse and Revolutionary Unitarian Universalist Multicultural Ministries, DRUM is easier to say, through our congregational membership. So we have a group membership, and if you're interested in joining, please contact our administrator, Anna Lim, or me, if you're here and you want to let me know that you'd like to join. Today, we are welcoming, for the first time on a Sunday, our newly settled minister, Reverend James Galasinski. So join us again next week for his first full service leading worship with us. Details for all of our programs and upcoming events can be found on our website at rruuc.org. Our guest minister today is my very dear friend and someone that you probably know, the Reverend Kimberley Debus. Reverend Kimberley is a minister based in Takoma Park, inspiring an artful and art-filled faith. She consults with congregations and religious professionals throughout the denomination. In addition to her consulting ministry, she also serves the Cedarhurst Unitarian Universalists near Westminster, and she writes about congregational life, worship, and other shenanigans on her weekly newsletter, My Chalice. Welcome, Reverend Kimberley.
We'll light our chalice with the words of Margaret Weiss. Come into this place with your whole self. The parts that are raw and exposed, the part that is beaming with joy, the part that is seeking the truth, the new, the possibility. Come into this place. Open your heart, lay down your burden, lift up your hope for something new to happen. Come into this place with fellow travelers on the journey. Some faces new, others familiar, and all welcoming you here now to this moment. We light our chalice, an invitation to come and worship together. I invite you now to rise as your body and spirit call you to sing hymn number 128, For All That Is Our Life.
Please join me in the practice of meditation. So I invite you just to get comfortable wherever you are. Perhaps feel your feet flat on the ground. You can close your eyes if you like. Allow your body to just be. To just be and relax. Feel its weight sink into the chair below you. And drop into this moment which is ripe with possibility. Take a deep breath in. Let it calm your spirit and your body. Another deep breath in through the nostrils and slowly release. One more, a slow, deep breath in through your nostrils. Hold it. Slowly let it go. I invite you to go into your deeper self. There's no need to rush. You can go slowly. Go deeper and deeper into your most genuine, authentic inner self. You are among people of love, people of patience, people of kindness, and people of peace. Be in that love. Be in that peace. That deeply spiritual spot, the core of who you are in this moment of shared silence. I invite you into the spirit of prayer. Spirit of life, presence of love in us and all around us. We humbly assemble today to be more than we could ever be alone. To find the next step on our journey. To help us experience the inner light, to be uplifted, to find what we need this day, and to have continual gratitude for the life that we are all part of. We especially think today of Rita Parks, who had a terrible accident with a lift in her home a little over a week ago. She suffered multiple broken bones in her legs and ankles. She is now recovering in Alexandria, Virginia, and needs 10 to 12 weeks of no weight on those legs. We pray for her healing in body, mind, and spirit, and that she come here again soon with her exuberance and joy. We also pray for anyone among us, people we know and people far away, people who are in need. that we may bring warmth to the wounded, so that no one has to ever go through their pain alone. We also pray for peace in our country and in our world. May a day come where violence and aggression is never even an option. May humility, kindness, civility, warmth, and the common good reign again in the highest seats of power, where welcoming the stranger and loving your neighbor are not just ancient precepts, but everyday practices and the basis for policies. Thus do we pray, and thus do we commit our spirits. Amen.
And now, in support of our congregation and the community beyond, the morning offering will be greatly received. If this is your first time visiting, please feel free to let the plate pass you by. Your presence is your gift to us. Our Share the Plate program shares 50% of all Sunday offerings in a given month with a selected organization. The designated gift organization for August is the Women's Health Center of Western Maryland, which provides patients in the Central Appalachian region with quality, comprehensive reproductive health care that affirms the autonomy and dignity of its patients, including LGBTQ+ patients. To learn more about why we give of our financial treasure, you can check out our website at rruuc.org. There you can find information on our vibrant programs and all the ways to connect to the mission and vision of this community. You can also give there on the main page by clicking the blue Give Online button, or you can text to give. The text to give number is 73256. So if you'd like that option, text RRUUC and the amount you'd like to give to 73256. You will receive a link to complete your donation. Thank you for sharing your time, your talents, and your treasure. Today's reading is titled Nothing is Static by the Reverend Manish Mitra Marzetti. Nothing is static. The ground shifts, sometimes slowly, sometimes like an earthquake, reminding us that the solidity we often love and seek is always an illusion. The crumbling dust of the desert plains, the moist fertility of farmlands, the eroding coastline of tidal shores, all are changing. Committees dissolve or are created. Leaders retire or step away. Ministers come and go. Bylaws are amended. New experiences lead to new truths, which foster evolution. The natural course of life always pushing us towards greater understandings of what it means to be human. Everything about our existence points towards change, flexibility, and dynamic recreation. And it's hard because change involves loss. Can we hold the losses well while not holding ourselves back? The ground shifts, sometimes slowly, sometimes like an earthquake. Nothing is static.
For sure. What a joyful piece of music. And I begin with expressions and gratitude of joy for being here with you, for getting to work with friends, Cliff and Jan and Adrian, and getting to share this space that is a little bit familiar to me with my upstate New York compatriot, the Reverend James. It is such a wonderful moment to be here right as he begins his ministry with you. Now, my ministry is wide and varied. I work with a lot of different congregations and religious professionals in a lot of different areas. And one of those areas is, as Adrian mentioned, a column I write called Hold My Chalice. I don't pull punches necessarily, it's loving with a bit of snark. But that's where I get to write about congregational life, worship, other things that are going on in the world and how we deal with them. It's a product of these short-term ministries I do and workshops and retreats, preaching gigs like this one. And because I've been directly engaged in some form or another with well over a quarter of our congregations, I've seen some things, and I know some things, and I can tell you for sure that there are 3 things that are true about Unitarian Universalist congregations. The first is, as Reverend Manish writes in the piece that Adrian wrote, nothing is static in a UU congregation. Or as Octavia Butler writes, the only lasting truth is change. Second, UU congregations are like snowflakes. Everyone, yes, is a little different, but it's amazing how most of their qualities and patterns are remarkably the same. Even between congregations of different sizes, geography, governance structure, all of that, we're remarkably similar. Third, the search for a new minister is really hard, and it upends the entire congregation, which you have just been through. Now, part of what makes that hard is that most of the time you don't know your settled minister. In your case, Reverend Nancy McDonald Ladd was going to leave until they announced it one day. And suddenly, everything changes. And there's a problem to be solved. And some people are pretty freaked out about it. Oh no, disaster. Children's author Emily Arnold McCulley offers a story about a town that went through something very similar. And I've asked Adrian and Reverend James to help.
Long ago, in a town by the river, the old bridge suddenly creaked, cracked, and fell into the river. Sploosh. The mayor was among the first on the scene.
This is a calamity. The town must have a bridge. We'll run out of food. Someone will have to build a new one.
Someone shouted, "Ask the Jubilates!" And in the midst of all the commotion, the Jubilates arrived.
Can you build us a new bridge?
The Jubilates laughed and said,
Of course we can. We can build anything.
The mayor sighed in relief and began to plan his triumphal procession across the completed bridge. But then the old woman tugged at his sleeve.
What about our tradition? The first person to cross a new bridge must be the happiest in town. And furthermore, if anyone else crosses first, a curse will fall on all of us.
Everyone froze.
A curse? We can't have a curse while I'm in office.
A curse? Yikes. Now what? All right, so for those of you who've been around more than a few years, you may remember the shock and the process to let go of Reverend Nancy and hire an interim minister and the paces she put you through, and knowing Reverend Connie, she put you through your paces. And then the hard work that the search team did to find a new minister. I'm going down here, it feels a little safer. It was complicated further by the remnants of the pandemic. And then an impossibly hard election cycle resulting in the hostile government takeover that we're experiencing just down the street. Everything was on fire, and a few weeks ago, literally, everything is changing. And even the thing you thought was solid, this congregation, was changing. You might have thought it was like the bridge that crashed into the river. So when something big changes, or even when something small changes, we often hold on to what happened in the past as a way to go forward. Those things that make you you, the things that remain constant through changes in ministry, some of which you'll keep as Reverend James breathed into his ministry with you. There are a lot of items, traditions, things, and ways that we hang on to. I'm reminded of a story that former UUA President Peter Morales tells of going to a day-long retreat in a New England church building. Now, the meeting was to be held in the parlor, a grand room with portraits of their previous ministers going back centuries, hanging on the walls, and yes, of course, they were all men. Maybe the last one wasn't. But it was lined with chairs and sofas from the Victorian era. And while not all Victorian sofas and chairs are as comfortable as the overstuffed furnishings of modern family rooms, they were built to be sit upon. In this case, however, Peter discovered that the entire retreat would be spent around a folding table on metal folding chairs in the center of the room with the plush seating just out of reach. He said when he laid his jacket on one of those sofas, the church matriarch practically threw him out of the building. Now, I suppose that the matriarch would have loved actually to have plastic on that furniture. How many of us have memories of a relative or neighbor who bought good furniture and literally put plastic on the furniture so it couldn't be enjoyed? Yeah. I mean, on one hand, I get it. There were a few things that I wish had been better taken care of so at the time I'd inherited them, they might have been in better shape or maybe worth a little more. But there's a point when you have to wonder, what are we sacrificing in order to preserve the thing? Are we preserving comfort? Are we deciding what our forebears would want? I mean, I can't imagine the people who bought that parlor furniture in the 70s or 80s wanted it to be turned into museum pieces. And what if it's not just a physical thing, but an idea or a tradition, a process, a way of approaching something? Or worse, what if it's fear of what will happen if we do change it or get rid of it or use it? And how do we fix that?
How do we find the happiest person in town to cross the bridge?
Came the sounds of the jubilates hard at work across the river.
I'll try the banker. He's richer than everyone else. He must be happier, too.
The banker was in his vault, counting his money.
Sir, we have chosen you to be the first.
But the banker interrupted.
Not now. 1,026, 1,027, 1,028. Oh no, a sovereign is missing. Call the sheriff.
The mayor quickly realized the banker was not really happy at all. He decided to try the grocer next.
She is more beautiful than anyone else. Maybe she's happier, too.
The grocer hummed as she arranged melons in her shop window.
Madam, are you happy?
The grocer strutted with pride.
What a question. If you look like me, of course you'd be happy.
Just then, she smiled at her mirror and suddenly shrieked.
Oh no, the horror, the horror. There's a wrinkle on my forehead. And another. Don't look at me.
As the mayor left the grocer, he saw the Jubilatis hard at work. He turned the corner and spotted a poet.
See here, are you happy? Of course, I'm happy. The world is full of enchantment.
The poet, lost my place. The mayor began to sigh in relief, but then noticed that a tear was rolling down the poet's cheek, followed by another.
What's the matter?
The poet sobbed loudly.
I can never write a verse as perfect as this flower.
The mayor wiped his forehead and pressed on. Over the rooftops, the bridge marched steadily across the river. The Jubilatis never slowed their work. Down the street, he saw the home of a woman with 12 healthy children. He knocked, and then knocked louder. And over the din, finally, the woman opened the door.
Madam, are you happy? What's that? Speak up. I said, are you happy? We are looking for the happiest person in town.
The woman sighed in exasperation.
Well, any other day, that would be me. But today, one of my boys chased another up the tree, and he fell down the chimney while I was borrowing a ladder so I could go after him. The soup boiled over. The baby ran out of the open gate. The cow ran away. This one couldn't run after it because her sister threw her shoes down the well before she broke the bed, jumping on it.
The mayor slowly backed away, sorry to have interrupted her. As he walked up the street, he could hear the Jubilatis cheering as they reached the halfway point of the river. The mayor paused to watch, then interrupted himself.
I can't waste time admiring the bridge. I need a good night's sleep if I'm going to find the happiest person in town.
In the days that followed, the bridge came nearer and nearer the shore, and the mayor continued to search high and low. But no one seemed happier than anyone else. The pie seller had blisters on his feet. The apothecary had mixed up the hiccup potion with the dropsy potion. The barber had nicked the miller's chin. The rag picker missed their mother who lived across the river, and so on and so forth.
No one had the right answer for the mayor. No one was happiest. No one could break the curse. And that's sometimes what big changes feel like. I mean, we certainly felt it through those first months of the pandemic, right? No one knew what to do, and people were trying to figure it out and wishing the curse had never existed. And now, you are on the other side of a big transition. From Reverend Nancy's departure through Connie's interim ministry, and today, with someone I hope is the happiest person in town, James, and the beginning of his ministry with you. And as you start this new joyful chapter with a history of things that you have built and then held on to, the traditions of this congregation, certainly some old ones and some new ones, also stories, the way you tell the story of your place, of your processes, of your personnel, of your ministries. Here's the fourth thing that is true of Unitarian Universalist congregations. Reverend James, sitting over there, does not mean that the work is over. Just because he's here doesn't mean the work is over. It means the work now looks different, and the transition is now about how you will learn and grow together. These first few years of a new ministry are colored by the specter of long-held stories and uncertainty upon uncertainty. It can be a surprising time, an anxious time, at moments a hard time. And what happens often in these times, certainly what we did when the COVID pandemic shut things down, is reach for the things that are familiar and the things we can fix. So much is out of control and so new and unsure. We say, yeah, but I know this thing. And this thing becomes not just true, but really true. Like the old woman's curse. Now, sometimes this is good, looking for things we can fix, because a problem is technical, right? We're hot, we turn on the AC. Easy fix. You all have some real technical problems ahead of you, shifting into a new long-term settled ministry with new personalities, new ways of doing things. I mean, it probably took about 18 months for you to get used to Reverend Connie's way of doing things. And now there will be some technical problem solving as you figure out how to do things with James, right? You'll also be discovering the things that you didn't even know that Connie or Nancy did. Learning how James will do things maybe will be a little different. So our mayor, confronted with a broken down bridge and a long history of a particularly aggressive, long-held belief, starts looking for technical answers. In his case, finding the happiest person. Something he can't seem to do.
Oh dear, oh dear. And I used to be happy myself.
Yeah. He's worn out his shoes, searching high and low for the right person, trying desperately to solve this problem. And his joy is diminished, and his motivation is diminished. And he's struggling. And he probably is thinking about now the bridge construction shouldn't have started until he had found the happiest person in town. But sometimes the problem is adaptive. And the technical solutions won't solve the adaptive problem. In the town's case, the adaptive problem is finding a new way to tell a story about the bridge and who they are, what the bridge means to them. It's about letting solutions happen as they organically happen rather than stopping them because an old story says they're not, or because of an old story that is no longer useful. It's about taking the plastic off the furniture, because you know that chair is really comfortable and upholstery can be cleaned. The adaptive solution is one part letting go and about 10 parts saying yes. The letting go, well, honestly, that may be the harder part, although you've been doing some of that work in the interim time, right? But it's always about allowing things to unfold as they will, allowing old beliefs and old stories and even things to fade away. Those things that no longer serve you because times are different and the moment is different, or they're holding you back from a new future. And there's grief involved in the letting go, especially when you realize, oh, there's more stuff to let go of now that we have our new settled minister. Oh. There's grief. No question. It's hard work to say, this was good and now it's not. Or asking ourselves, what will protect us or care for us if we no longer do this thing? But for everything we let go, there is a new possibility waiting. Psychologist Jean Houston suggests that we must die to one story in order to be born into a better one. That's true for our own selves and our congregations, and honestly, right now, our nation. And what it requires in this moment, in this room, with all of you, is simply saying yes. Saying yes is a risk, okay? Saying yes is also about letting go, and it's letting go of knowing exactly what's going to happen, knowing how you'll get there, when you'll get there, how much will it cost, who has to be involved, what the timeline is. Can we get a project manager to draw up a big Gantt chart or something and have a committee that meets for 3 hours once a week so we know every detail before we actually say yes? Saying yes first is a risk. But sometimes you have to do that in order to move past the technical answers that won't solve the adaptive problem. In his book, The Answer to How is Yes, the author Peter Block suggests that we often get stuck asking how a vision will be accomplished and never get past the hows to see the whole. He writes that no matter how many answers we get on the how, we often decide not to act on them. All of those Gantt charts, all of those meetings, right? And when we do act on an answer, well, what have we got? Have we got a good answer? He says the fault is in the nature of the question. So instead of the hows, Block advises we should be asking different questions that will help focus our commitment to the vision and the mission from which the pieces will start to fall into place, and the hows will emerge from the financial and material resources to the talent and the expertise to the buy-in and commitment. In other words, we can't get caught up in the but what abouts. But what about the curse? But what about our history? But what about how we've always done things in the past? Remember the 7 deadly words of the church. But we've always done it this way. All we can do is breathe into yes and let the process unfold. All we can do is let go of our anxieties about what could happen if we take a chance and say yes to possibility and instead let things happen.
One day, a great cheer rose from the riverbank. Woo!
We did it! We did it!
Yay!
It was hard work, but it was well worth it. I think it's our best bridge yet.
But we can't use it. Tradition says the happiest person in town must cross first, but we couldn't find the happiest person.
Everyone frowned and was sad.
A moment ago, we were the happiest people in town. We built the best bridge of our lives, but now we're sad. Now we're sad because you can't use it.
Everyone became silent. Then one of the Jubilati children spoke up.
We already have crossed the bridge.
Everyone looked at everyone else.
Whoops. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
A cheer rose from the crowd.
Hooray!
And then everyone in the town scampered onto the bridge, where they danced back and forth from shore to shore. The mayor even danced with the old woman. He was so happy that he forgave her for bringing up the ancient tradition in the first place. The Jubilatis, of course, had been happy all along.
So, what happens when we let go of the traditions and beliefs that no longer serve us? Do we discover we too have been happy all along? Okay, maybe we've not been happy exactly, but we've always had the power to make things better, to weather storms, to deal with the changes we invite and the changes that honestly are thrust upon us. And meanwhile, leadership and the search team and even Reverend James himself have been like the Jubilatis, joyfully building the new bridge, a bridge to what's next for River Road, a bridge to new changes and new possibilities. When we let go of what no longer serves us, and we see just how well equipped we actually are to move forward, we can let go of those anxieties and worries that keep us from being present to each other and our dawning future. We can do that beautiful transition work that is before you now. And if we let go, when we say yes, we can do the work ahead of us, not just in the congregation, but in the world. Because the work you do in the congregation equips you not just as an organization, but as a faith community. It builds strength. And if we're to do the good work outside our walls, we have to be focused enough and strong enough and say yes inside our walls. And saying yes to all that is next as you embrace your new minister is saying yes to the complexities of wholeness, vision, value, healing, joy. You see, yes is how the entire universe works. Now, I'm not a physicist, but this is what I'm told, that there's just a little more, just the tiniest bit more matter than antimatter, a little more creation than destruction, a little more growth than death, a little more yes than no. And if that's how the rest of the universe works, well, and if we're part of the universe, which we are, then it should be how we work. We can say yes to a vision of justice and hope and love. We can affirm that the path of love is the one worth taking. We can say yes to moving from anxiety and worry toward wholeness and healing. We can see the vision and we're in, even if we don't know for sure where we're going. Our yes reminds us of our covenant and of forgiveness, and each day doing a little bit better than the day before. Yes propels us across that new bridge to meet the moment with joy and confidence in our faith, confidence in our congregation, confidence in this new ministry, and excitement for what's next. There is indeed joy in the morning and dancing, because right now, we're the happiest people in town. So let us sing. Our closing hymn comes from Sing Out Love, our new digital hymnal. It's called Joy in the Morning.
find joy. We'll find joy in the morning. Joy in the morning. Joy in the morning. In the morning, we'll find joy. We find hope. We find hope in our children. Hope in our children. Hope in our children. In our children, we find hope. We find strength. We find strength in each other. Strength in each other. Strength in each other. In each other, we find strength. There is love all around us. There is love all around us. Love all around us. Love all around us. There is love all around us. There is love.
That was a keeper. That was a good one. Thank you. Thank you for that. That gave me joy. Please join me in our extinguishing words, which are projected above or on your screen. Right? Ta-da, ta-da. We extinguish our flickering flame, which never stays the same for too long, knowing our sacred light is also changing and therefore full of possibility.
I wish to send you, yes, that's gorgeous. I want to send you off with words from the Irish poet John O'Donoghue. May we have the courage to take the step into the unknown that beckons us. Trust that a richer life awaits us there, that we will lose nothing but what has already died. So go in love, go in peace, go in joy. Go enjoy coffee and conversation. Thank you for being here.